Hey y'all, it's Sarah, the wine loving bookworm, back with another book and wine review for your Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I'm looking forward to spending the day with my son and my husband. And I hope wherever you are, you're not sick and things are getting better. With the coronavirus, Florida is basically getting back to normal. We were able to go out to dinner the other night, sit outside away from everybody, but we were able to do that and get my hair done next week. So that's really exciting. So I hope things are getting back to normal for y'all or soon to be back to normal. Um, okay, so let's start with the wine tonight. I got this one at Publix. It's called Locator Red Blend. I also got, it was BOGO. I said I got it at Publix, but I don't think I said it was BOGO. I also got a Pinot Noir, my favorite, but I thought I'd try something different. It's red fruit, warm spice, and toasted oak. It says it would pair well with a burger, which is made me laugh about a wine. Like, you don't think about burgers and wine, but I like burgers and I like wine, so let's go with it. Manteca, California. I have no idea where that is, but that's where the winery is. So let's give it a shot. Cheers. That's good. It's like a tiny bit on the sweet side. I'm not getting the oak, but I think I'm getting the fruit and the spice. Pretty good. I think it was only like $10, so $5 each when they're BOGO. Can't beat that. All right, so let's move on to the book I read. Daisy Jones and the Six. Taylor Jenkins Reid is the author. It's fiction, and it's about 351 pages. Very easy to read. It's done in like an interview format style, like you can see. So maybe it's very quick, very easy to read. The author started in film production. She was a casting assistant for many years, and then she worked part-time at a high school, I think, and wrote her books. Her first book was Forever Interrupted. She also wrote The Seven Husbands of Evelyn. Daisy Jones and the Six is going to be turned into a web miniseries. I'm not sure what that means, by Reese Witherspoon. I know Reese Witherspoon has a production company, and this was actually a Reese's Book Club pick right there, if you can see that. The author grew up in Massachusetts, but now she lives in Los Angeles. Okay, so this book was recommended to me by my favorite bookseller in Mount Dora, Chrissy Style, and she runs Barrel of Books and Games in downtown Mount Dora, Florida. So if you are ever in the area, you should check it out. It's a great bookstore. I needed another book. I didn't need another book. I just asked her. I was trying to support her, so I asked her for a recommendation while we were still in lockdown, and that's the one she gave me. And thank you, because it's awesome. The book is like I said, a collection of interviews by a band, a rock band, some of their family members, their manager, their producers, etc. And it's basically about how the band's story, basically. I knew zero about this book when I started it, and I thought it was a true story. And I was like, how have I not heard about this 70s rock band? Like, that is my whole aesthetic. Like, that is my thing. I love that 60s, 70s rock. I'm like, how have I never heard about this band that's supposed to be so huge? Okay, they are fiction. This is not a real band. I was about a quarter of the way through the book when I figured out, I think I Googled them. And something tipped me off, too, that it was like, is this fiction? So I Googled them. They're not real. It's funny when you realize that something's fiction, when you thought it was true all along, suddenly you start picking out all that unrealistic things. And I don't know if the reason I Googled it is because I saw something that I felt was unrealistic, or if it's just a casualty of me finding out and then suddenly I'm picking it apart, but whatever the case may be, that happened. So the Six was the original band, 6 members, and very, creative there. And Daisy Jones was a solo artist, and a producer decided to put them together, and they became the biggest band of their time. That's why I was so confused of why I had never heard about them. The book, through fictitious interviews, tries to figure out why the band broke up at the pinnacle of their career. So that is the 2-second, rundown on it. I really liked the book. It was easy to read and engrossing. I thought it had some really interesting elements. I liked how they did it in a interview style, because it was almost like a faux documentary, but not like funny, you have all these movies now where people are holding cameras like it's supposed to be real, and it's not. Blair Witch Project was original, and then there's a lot of copycats from there. This book was kind of like that, so it does kind of, it's interesting concept, and I actually really liked it. I thought it works. There were a lot of rock star cliches: groupies, drugs, inner fighting in the band, the lead singer thinking he's like, this is his band, big egos, all that stuff. I guess they're cliches because they're true. I mean, you hear it over and over again in these bands, so, but she did try to take like a different take on some of it, but some of it got a little like, okay, like maybe that's where the unrealistic stuff came in. Camilla was the lead singer's wife, and she was such a flat character for me. Very uninteresting, very unrealistic. I mean, this woman is a saint to put up with this guy, and she's just always like zen about it. Like, whatever will be, will be. She said at one point, I'm living the life I want to live, which, kind of is true. Like, you should look around and be grateful for what you have instead of always wanting more or wanting something different, and I totally get that, but no one's this cool. Like, and she wasn't that old, and dealing with this guy, I didn't understand it. I guess she just knew he'd always come back to her on some level and just didn't feel like it was worth it to argue with him about things, but I didn't like her. There were lyrics to all their songs in the back of the book, and I don't know if the author wrote them all. I'm assuming she did, and they were really good. I mean, she should actually write some songs for people because they were really good. One of my favorite lines was, write a list of the things you'll regret. I'll be sitting on top with smoking a cigarette. I thought that was a great line. That could be in a song. That's a great line. The author said she got inspiration from Fleetwood Mac, and you could really see that. Like, you have to read the book to figure it out, but you'll know what I'm talking about. Overall, a really good book. I'd say about 4.5 stars out of 5. Just very easy to read. I read it in like 3 days. Like, it was just quick, easy, page turner. Very good. Like, pick it up. It's a good book. Daisy Jones and the Six. Okay, next week is book club. In our book club book, I waited until less than a week to read this. This is a lot of pages. 500. That's Elizabeth Gilbert, City of Girls. This is the one I said I was going to read this week, and then I switched to that one because I realized book club isn't until next week. Again, of Eat, Pray, Love fame, and why do I keep forgetting the name of that book? Big Magic. I keep wanting to say Big Amazing. I don't know why. So I'm interested to read it. My friend's already finished it. She said it was really good. She really liked it. So hopefully I'll be able to jump on the Zoom call this week, and I'll get back to you guys next Sunday with my review of Elizabeth Gilbert's City of Girls. All right, so that's all for me today. Kind of a short one. Good book. So pick up Daisy Jones and the Six. Locator, if you live in Florida or Georgia or wherever Publixes are, you can get this BOGO till next Wednesday, I guess. So pick it up. Let's give it another shot. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, that's a decent wine for $5. What I actually paid for it. Okay, guys, have a great Mother's Day, and I will see you next week. Cheers.